This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
Welcome back in to the Meltdown Live Part 2. This is the better part anyway, in my opinion. And so we're here with you until we're not. And that's going to be our goal here in the Culver studio. And we appreciate you joining us back here if you're watching live. Or if you happen to be watching for the first time here today, just know that there is a part 1. I would highly recommend you check that out. We got pretty philosophical about horror movies and trying to make the case as to why they're not maybe a detriment to society. And then we got into the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni madness, which led us into Taylor Swift dominating the charts yet again. No big shock there. She's been doing that for a long time. We talked about physical media re-releases. I talked about Record Store Day, and about 2 years ago, I was in a shop in Atlanta. It's my favorite record store to go to, actually. I don't know if I want to go that route.
I know.
But it is my favorite record store in Atlanta, and I'm a big fan. It's Criminal Records, by the way. Oh. That's what it is. I love it very much. It's right there near the Vortex. Yeah. Criminal Records is good. So I'm excited about that. And I get in there, and I get my Midnight album, and I'm super happy about that. And the artist is there to meet and greet and do a sign, and there's all these Taylor Swift folklore, long pond session albums. And the price of those have just gone up and up and up and up. And there was a whole stack of them, and I could have just gotten a couple. And I didn't think of it that way because I didn't have that sort of mindset.
Her original album, if you have the first version with a version of Picture to Burn on it, it went for so much money because she changed it. Yeah.
Taylor Swift physical media. There's something about it, though, as a physical media collector that I really just do not like. Yeah. And there's something about it as a scalper that I don't think Tyler likes at all because you reference it on TNR all the time.
Like about Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift and her multitude of different physical media releases.
I mean, if you're scalping T Swift merch, then yeah, you probably do hate it because, whole thing's supply and demand. Once an album gets re-released or there's a new variant, that's a separate market. And we see it with shoes all the time. The Wu-Tang Dunks from Nike used to go for tens of thousands of dollars because there were only a very limited amount of them back in 1999, and very few pairs still are even wearable from then. And then they re-released them last year, or early this year, actually. And the price is through the floor on them because it's just not the illusion of like rarity isn't there.
Yeah. I feel bad for the fans that have been so loyal that they feel like they have to have every variant of everything that Taylor Swift puts out.
With it.
And that is a lot of money. And there's probably a larger segment of the fan base than we realize that are completionists and wanting every single thing she puts out. And that can be pretty tough to accomplish and still have any sort of
financial security
bankroll for yourself. So
I mean, I would advise people not to get so attached to an artist that they do that.
Yeah.
Or a brand.
Yeah, or a brand.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Sabrina Carpenter, by the way, kind of the biggest female artist of the earliest part of this year, with her album getting even more and more successful, has announced that her new single, Man-Child, will be released on this Thursday at 7 o'clock Central Time, p.m. in the evening, Thursday, June 5th. So the new Sabrina Carpenter song will be out this week. A lot of people will probably be losing their minds over that one, and it'll be all over the radio if you still listen to the radio. Sinners, which I think is the best movie of the year. Tyler, I don't know if you're still in that camp of Sinners being the best movie of the year, but I know you've been extremely high on it.
So if we're talking live action, then yes.
Yeah.
My list this year is going to be very weird because early this year we got an Attack on Titan movie, and that movie was just sort of the perfect end to that series that's been going on for over 10 years. So it's going to be very hard for me to call anything the best movie of the year outright without sort of disqualifying Attack on Titan.
That's fair. Sinners is now available to watch at home. So that means that Lance may be able to check it out. It's $19.99 if you want to rent it, $24.99 if you want to buy it on Prime Video, Apple TV, or other video on demand platforms.
For almost the price of a month of A-List.
Correct.
You can watch Sinners at home.
You could have watched Sinners like 12 times. No, like 20 times already if you really wanted to with A-List. That's why A-List is the best deal, I think, for movie fanatics. I still don't understand why someone would pay $20 to rent instead of $25 to buy.
I don't either. That's a horrible investment.
That's a terrible idea. Well, I've been renting more movies on Amazon Prime over the past year or so. Back when we were doing the retro trailer reactions, and then just going back and watching like the Mission Impossible franchise. I had to rent a couple of those because some of them are like exclusive to Paramount. You could buy it or you could rent it in HD for like $329 or $349. You could rent it in 4K for $379, and then I think buying it was like $499 or something.
Yeah, I mean the prices. I don't know how they come up with these and justify
I
them.
don't either.
They don't. It doesn't make sense to me.
And then for some movies, they have like a $299 version available for standard definition, which I think at that point I'll just pull it off of like some sketchy Russian website.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that the prices of these don't make any sense. I can't really justify them. Like in a grocery store, when you can see like the buy one, get one or anything like that, you're trying to, okay, this makes more sense to go this route. The movie prices are just all over the board, so I don't understand it. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan teamed up for this one, and the vampire thriller has grossed over $350 million worldwide. So a big smash hit there for Warner Brothers and also for original cinema. Denzel Washington, by the way, gave some advice to Michael B. Jordan. Said overexposure on social media hurts movie stars. Why would they pay to see you on a weekend if they can see you all week for free? Jordan says he has...
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Jordan says he has since been strategic throughout his career in sharing as little as possible about himself as it creates a demand for himself as a movie star on the big screen. So it is a fine line there. Some actors, they get parts because they have a huge social media following. Like social media stars can become movie stars easily.
Yeah.
We've seen that over and over and over again of studios thinking, okay, it's easier to market a film if we're able to put this actress, this actor in it because of their social media connection.
Wasn't that a big part of like how Rachel Zegler got some roles?
That is correct.
Yeah.
And hadn't really worked out too well there now that the
Bad
box
investment.
office has turned against her. There's another actress, Zendaya. Now listen, here's the difference. Zendaya is, I think, really talented. I mean, really, really, really talented.
She can kind of do everything. Model, sing, act.
But part of, like what you just pointed out, part of what gets her roles, especially in high-profile features, is the fact that she's super marketable.
So marketable.
Like, incredibly marketable. And
Former Disney star that did not go off the rails, still kind of has a pretty clean image. Like, I think a lot of people thought Euphoria was just going to, like, take her down a completely different avenue. But, I mean, she was the only one.
It enhanced her
that could say,
dramatic
like,
chops.
No, Sam Levinson, I will not be doing that.
Yeah.
So, it's only risen her profile even more.
Yep.
You know, like EG said, she can sing, she can dance, act.
Social media is not by itself a problem, but if you put it with the wrong ingredients, it it enhances whatever problem may exist. So anyway, Denzel Washington, obviously very popular before the rise of social media, giving Michael B. Jordan that type of advice. It's very similar to what Leonardo DiCaprio sort of advised with Timothée Chalamet. Avoid the superhero movies. Avoid the easy money. Avoid the big blockbuster constant overexposure. Pedro Pascal, like you pointed out, kind of taking the opposite route. And he's in 3 movies in the coming month, I believe. Something like that.
He's in Materialist. He's in Fantastic Four. I believe he's in Eddington as well.
Correct.
He's currently, I think, Last of Us Season 2 just finished up.
He's exited out of that. And then you have the
story-wise.
Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming out next year. So.
Oh, and then you've got all his recent appearances on SNL, because those clips just they don't leave your feed.
Are you reading my notes?
Really? You got that on there too?
Saturday Night Live just came off its most watched season in 3 years. Season 50 hit an average of 8.1 million viewers. That is a 12% increase compared to season 49. I think I know why. I think more conservatives are now watching Saturday Night Live because
Sydney Sweeney, the
well,
that was a take that was going around for a while.
Yeah. I think SNL has been a little bit more willing to take some shots at a side that maybe they were catering to. And I think that a lot of their viewership, the reason it's rising is because they're having to pull numbers from someplace that wasn't watching them already. Mm-hmm. And I believe more and more conservatives have been watching SNL and going, that's actually really funny. I don't know how many times I've seen Clay Travis over the past year share an SNL clip and say, this is really funny, you need to watch it.
Yeah, that's a good
And
point.
it's like, well, if you're reaching Clay and you're getting him to disperse your content, then that's where numbers are going to grow. And I think that's just my opinion of why you've seen the numbers grow there for SNL. Guys, we got to talk about this one.
Oh, quick, just real quick on the SNL bit. Daniel says that SNL needs to work to keep Jost and Che. Absolutely. Yeah. Michael Che. Great.
I don't know who's next in line for those positions, but
big shoes to fill.
They do this with Weekend Update all the time. Everybody hates the new people, and then they eventually become the standard.
Yep.
Of like, are they the best of all time? Can these people be replaced? And a lot of people felt that way with Seth leaving.
Oh yeah.
And now you have a situation where Weekend Update is culturally relevant again, and it's always teetering to go back to square one, so we'll see. But yeah, that's a good point to bring up.
Weren't they looking at shelving that segment for a while?
Probably
during the run of SNL.
Probably they probably thought it was a little dated, a little bit tough to make it work in its format, and SNL always has its peaks and its valleys, right? When you have a show that's been on for that long, sometimes they're right on the pulse, and sometimes it feels like they are missing the mark. And everyone's favorite version of SNL is the version that they grew up with. Like, everyone defends that cast for the most part as being their cast. Now, y'all's generation's kind of screwed in that argument because
we grew up with YouTube available. And
right.
So,
but Andy Samberg, I would think, would be someone that you would see as a pioneer.
Oh, absolutely.
And a lot of other people would be like, Andy Samberg, who is that?
If Andy Samberg doesn't make, I believe it was Lazy Sunday, The Chronic, What Calls of Narnia,
right?
Then we're not doing this.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Thank
you, Chris Parnell.
Yeah, that was the first viral video. People forget about that, but
that was big.
It was the biggest thing YouTube had since Janet Jackson, which was the creation of YouTube.
E.g., repeat after me. Not repeat after me. Fill in the words. Lazy Sunday. Wake up in the
Hyundai.
That's actually really good. Late afternoon. Anyway, let's go to this. A big, bold, beautiful journey.
Yikes.
Maybe my least favorite movie title ever.
Maybe my least favorite trailer ever.
A big, bold, beautiful journey. The trailer has dropped. It has Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell.
So bad.
They are supposedly finding love in a sweeping romantic fantasy is the way it's being described. We watched the trailer before we went on the air today. E.g., this should be a movie that targets you as an audience member.
Yeah, but these movies never really do it for me.
Okay. I got to process that for a second because we've pulled out a lot of pink bejeweled cases out of these mystery boxes, and every one of them you're like, oh, that's such a cute movie. Oh, that's so great.
This is a movie that is more in line with Fault in Our Stars, Before I Go, these depressing love. Blah, blah, blah. I want give me Legally Blonde, give me 27 Dresses, give me some comedy, give me some good fashion. I don't want the depressingness.
This is going to be a sad movie.
So
I'm just going to say that.
I don't like to be sad. Okay?
Okay.
Well, I just don't.
Just take what you want and go.
No. I just don't understand why people let me go sob my eyes out and watch this movie the first 5 seconds, clean my hands, I'm out. Don't want it. Go away. I can figure it out what happened. I'll spoil it for you guys if you want to know my theory, but.
You can spoil it because it's just a theory. None of this is confirmed.
Theory. This was going to happen.
You said this when I pitched what the trailer would be like 2 months ago. You said that this is the way it would go, and then you watch the trailer and go, okay, I've got this figured out immediately.
Same movie, really?
It's the same movie. I got it on.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
No, so it's this like story where the cars are talking to you. That's weird. And the car is telling the guy to go find this girl, and they go on this portal journey where they find doors in woods. Why would you go through a door in a wood? It's like
You sound, by the way, for someone who hasn't seen the trailer, like a crazy person right now. Yeah. You sound like an insano. I'm just letting you know. So the car's talking, and then there's doors in the woods. Why would you walk in a door in the woods? What's in the woods? Why is there a door? Door's made of wood. Why would the woods want the door?
Is these two people, they got in a 2-car crash. They're both dying separately, and this is their one moment in the universe we're together.
That's your prediction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will bet my left pinky toe on it that they got in a head-on collision, somehow died. Well, not somehow died. They passed away, and they're sharing this awful moment of their lives passing separately but together, and this is it.
This is a movie where new characters that you don't know relive their past on screen.
Together.
And I don't know if that works as an audience member because you're like, everything's new to you.
Everything's new.
Because you don't know
care
anything.
about these. I don't care about that guy going back to high school. Why do I care?
Yeah.
I don't care about you in 5th grade.
This could be, though, the most beautiful movie of the year. Could be.
Big, beautiful, bold journey. It sounds like an Ozempic commercial.
It's a horrible title. A big, bold, beautiful journey. I don't even think you got it right when you said it a couple minutes ago. Tyler, you went and saw the movie Here.
Yeah.
With Tom Hanks and why am I not remembering
I was blanking on it too.
Robin Wright.
Yes, from Forrest Gump.
Yes. Whew, thank gosh I got through that. When you went and saw it, didn't you get those same sort of vibes with this movie a little bit? It's kind of got that same sort of...
Here, but somehow more pretentious.
Here mixed with The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got.
I just could not stand it.
Well, I will probably go to this on a date night, and I will give you my review.
Let me know.
But I am not optimistic.
I don't actually foresee myself seeing this one, so we're gonna need your out of the theater reaction.
I'm really liking Colin Farrell. I think he's, obviously what he's done with the Penguin series on HBO has made me such a believer. He's gotten such acclaim there. There's a Variety cover that has Colin Farrell and Danny DeVito on the cover together, and I love it. I want to frame it. It's a perfect photo of those two together, both having played the Penguin. Obviously, I'm a huge Batman fan, so I'm more invested in Colin Farrell than ever before, and I kind of hope this movie doesn't suck as bad as it looks like it's going to. That's my hope. I'm higher on it than you guys are.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I weeped during Lilo and Stitch the entire time. I weeped.
It's not the weeping. It's just like, I don't know.
I didn't go in there to weep. I just happened to also.
And that's okay.
Just weep
I'd
the whole
rather
time.
that happen than like.
Yeah.
This. I'm supposed to sob while I watch these people like live their past. I don't care.
Okay.
Sorry. Getting hangry.
Thank you. Disney's laying off several hundred employees across teams such as marketing for both film and TV, publicity, casting, and development. None of the teams are being eliminated with the job cuts, but a lot of employees off the teams are. Any thoughts on this, Tyler?
That's a lot of the areas they've been lacking in. Marketing with, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, sending them out on the Snow White press tour and then buying a star on the Walk of Fame for Gal Gadot. Let's see, casting. Casting those two was a real bad choice. That you can embody all of Disney's problems with just that movie, and that's not even to sound like the typical rage bait YouTuber. There's just a lot of big problems with that movie, and I think that these changes will prevent another perfect storm of badness, like another Snow White.
Yeah, Snow White, biggest box office bomb, I think, of the year so far, and really, really bad publicity to her there. Mark Maron ending his WTF with Mark Maron podcast. You talked about pioneers in our industry of digital media. WTF was one of those. It launched 16 years ago in 2009 and helped define the medium. The final episode will air this fall.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever listened.
Nope.
But Obviously, I tie everything into Batman. Mark Maron was in Joker, where he played
Nice.
the assistant to Murray Franklin, which was played by Robert De Niro. And
All right.
I would have liked to have seen that character more in that movie, but I thought he was pretty good in Joker when that hit in 2019. Mark Hamill will not return as Luke Skywalker, according to Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
You believe this? You buy this? That he's completely done?
I don't care.
You don't care? It doesn't-
Yeah, I saw what he said, and I think he makes a good point for it because I think he had gotten into a little tiff on the set of Last Jedi over the direction they were taking Luke's character, and then he said, "All right, I'll do it."
This is
it.
I don't know what to believe about The Last Jedi. Ryan Johnson was asked recently, like, hey, whatever happened to your trilogy? You ever going to go back to that? Well, I kind of got into the murder mystery thing, and I've kind of been obsessed with that. And so I may, I would love to circle back to Star Wars, but I've just been kind of preoccupied with all this murder mystery stuff. And I'm like, yeah, well, we're never going to see the Ryan Johnson Star Wars trilogy.
Interview that gets asked about, hey, what happened to your involvement with Star Wars? Their answer always sounds like they've got a gun pointed to their head. And that's because they kind of do. Because if they say the wrong thing, they're never working for the House of Mouse ever again, nor at Fox, because they got 20th Century Fox now.
Mark Hamill did this thing during The Last Jedi where he was like, look, when I read it, I was aghast. And, and I don't know how much of that is authentic. I think
he likes a little bit of performance online.
Correct. I think a lot of it was, I was a skeptic, but then I really believed. So that way it makes the fans who are skeptics go, well, if Mark Hamill believes, I'm a believer. But the problem is all that's been cut up to destroy The Last Jedi because he kind of went a little bit too far on the end of this sucks. And I'm not sure he actually believed it. I really don't think he actually believed that it sucked. I think that he did his job. He was probably really proud of it, and it turned out bad, and now all that's being used against him. I think it was a gamble that went wrong. That's my professional opinion. He says they should focus on the future and all the new characters. I'm so grateful to George Lucas for letting me be a part of that back in the day, the humble days when George called Star Wars the most expensive low-budget movie ever made. We never expected it to become a permanent franchise and a part of pop culture like that, but my deal is I had my time. So he says he wants out of Star Wars, and he's done, and that's it. As someone who is a Halloween franchise fanatic that has watched Jamie Lee Curtis say this and come back to the franchise 15 times,
You're not buying it.
I'm not buying it. I think Luke Skywalker is such an iconic character that they've already recreated digitally with Mark Hamill's help that they will continue to probably go back to that well, because in order to tell a lot of these stories that Disney wants to tell, because you don't buy Star Wars for $4 billion unless you want to tell some Luke Skywalker stories, he's going to be back in this again in some capacity, in my opinion. But
what's he going to be? Just like a Force ghost the whole movie?
No, like in the Book of Boba Fett, they had him as a young Luke Skywalker training. I think it was training Baby Yoda. And, if you're going to have different series.
Training Baby Yoda.
Yeah. So at the end of Mandalorian Season 2, Mando gives Baby Yoda, Grogu, to Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
And then Luke Skywalker is seen in Book of Boba Fett, which was basically Mandalorian Season 2.5, training Baby Yoda.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was jaw-dropping how they did the technology. I mean, I thought I was watching Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I was going to say, so where in, Luke's life would this be?
Post-Return of the Jedi.
Post-Return of the Jedi, okay, but not the old hermit that you see just moping on an island.
No.
Okay.
This is him wearing all black, being a badass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Green lightsaber.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know. Right? So you perked up there. Disney went cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah. That is the sound of some action figures being sold.
And Mark Hamill said, you know what? I'll come back. Tyler, you've convinced me. Okay. Last and maybe least, Netflix has unveiled the first trailer for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which stars Jacob Elordi and Mia Goth, as well as Oscar Isaac, who's featured prominently in this trailer. We got a chance to see the trailer before the show today. It had released a couple days ago, but we hadn't gotten a chance to really watch it. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. or at least it was.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm concerned, Tyler. I have some concerns. I don't think it looks that great.
You're being very generous, in my opinion. This looks like every other piece of Netflix slop. It looks like they've reused assets from 15 different shows, and I think they reuse cameras, too. And lenses. They just have, like, one set kit for a Netflix show, because all of them are color graded the same, and it just doesn't have that cinematic look to it at all with the camera work. It looks like a student film with really good effects.
That's very harsh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is a bit harsh.
It looks like a Netflix movie, and if you just know what that means, it looks like a straight to streaming adventure.
I try to avoid that phrase, I guess, because people do primarily watch Netflix a lot now. But yeah, the quality is just not there. This is garbage. We'll
see. Maybe it'll play out better in its long form, but I didn't love the look of it. I did love that Frankenstein's Frankenstein's monster is kind of a badass in this. Like
fine.
He's kind of got some movement, and he's kind of like a slasher almost in this. Kind of got that gigantic Rob Zombie, Michael Myers feel, but in a Frankenstein movie.
Okay.
It's the feeling I got. Hobo Michael Myers, that's who I saw at the end of this.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's exactly what I saw.
Man, it's just so hard for me to say anything positive about this because it just looks so bad. And, you know, we both want new monster movies in the theaters because we love that style. Netflix isn't going to put this in the theater because they're not going for an award with this movie, I wouldn't think. So there's no reason for them to even bother putting it in the theaters. So it's just very hard for me to see anything positive in the thing that's trying to kill the place I love going and also providing the paying customer with garbage.
So there's a place I love going that provides the paying customer exactly what they deserve, and that is Alabama Dental Associates.
Great.
Oh, that's awesome.
You may not trust Dr. Frankenstein, but I trust Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, and Dr. Nolan. Over at Alabama Dental Associates, do we prepare these beforehand? No, we do not. Sometimes we just end up, it hits us like a lightning bolt. And here we are. They provide all sorts of services when it comes to staying on top of your dental health, whether you have major work that needs to be done or you just need to get on top of those regular cleanings. They are there for you. If you're new in town, need to make sure you have a dentist on standby here in the Alabama area. Go ahead and reach out and try Alabama Dental for yourself. They're accepting new patients now and can help you feel at ease about all of your upcoming dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, call them 205-956-8977. Or visit alabamadental.com where they look forward to seeing you. Okay, speaking of eating and mouths,
Yep.
it's now time for a Meltdown countdown. I was very vague in my what I sort of assigned you, but let me explain something real quick, and then I'm going to let you take it away.
Sounds good.
I have realized now my daughter is becoming a hangry individual.
Oh, no.
When she gets hangry, it turns rough.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that was such a big thing. But then I started thinking like, oh, who else in my life has this problem? And you're a self-admitted hangry person.
I am.
So I'm hoping that you can maybe tell me some stuff and I'm going to be able to utilize that in my life because I'm asked you for 5 observations about hangriness.
Okay, so the way I approached this list was I realized I was hangry, not myself, similar to your situation. It was identified in me by my family.
Oh.
Yeah.
That can be tough.
It was humbling, you could say. So much so that on, vacations where we're traveling, it's like, doesn't my grace have food? I don't want to deal with you when you get angry. We're stopping now. That kind of thing.
Man.
Yeah. So let me just preface it. I do feel pretty strongly in this area. I have a lot of experience with this. Now, this is going to be interesting to you guys. My number 5. I am not a foodie, okay? Do not mistake hangriness and being a foodie.
That's a great point.
I don't, if I'm on a trip, the food is great, but that's never my focal point. I don't love food.
So don't equate hangriness with I must have avocado toast right now in order to be able to function.
Those do not equate, nor is there any sort of correlation between I need to make sure I go to this restaurant because they have this specific. No. It's just
It's not about pickiness. It's about
Substance
functionality,
and
substance.
yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a great point to bring up.
Okay, number 4. This kind of coincides. The worst thing as a self-proclaimed hangry person is when you get so hangry that nothing even sounds good.
Oh.
You're just dead to the world.
Oh.
My solution, and you'll find one with Chloe, Snickers. That's an easy, no matter what.
It's the marketing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Eat a Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry, and it'll satiate me long enough to be able to make a decision.
Wow.
That's
a big vote of confidence there in Snickers
It
because
is.
their whole marketing
Yes.
campaign is if you're being a little bit hangry, take a bite.
Okay, when I went to college, my grandma and parents sent me off with Costco and Sam's Club's boxes of Snickers. I always have a Snickers on me. I'm not even exaggerating. There's one in my backpack. There's one in my nightstand.
Did you pace
True
them out
stories.
in a way that was productive for you?
I ate one once a day, if not 2 a day.
Still, that's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
most people, they have a giant box of Snickers that
Yeah.
they have to hold in reserve.
I kept them in a cabinet
Yeah, they're eating a lot of those in week 1.
underneath my bed.
I like to put my Snickers in the fridge, get them nice and
Yeah.
cold.
yeah, sometimes that hurts my teeth, but I do like
Where are we on the Snickers ice cream bars?
Love them.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
Big fan?
I love them.
I wish they had a little bit more texture. Just a
feel
little
like-
bit.
Yeah.
Too, when like you're hungry, they're a quick like game days. You basically won't catch me without a Snickers in some capacity. Like it's kind of a joke too, especially with Mikey. Like when he comes to Birmingham, like you open a drawer, there's a Snickers in it
Got it.
at all locations.
Okay.
Always have Snickers. Because of my car because they melt.
Got it. That is the hangry person's weapon of choice.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 3.
Number 3, the feeling of eating a good meal after you're hangry is like euphoric. I always tell people it feels like, when like you're playing Fortnite or like, I don't know, a game, and it's like the meter goes beep, 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 like when you're getting like health back
Yeah.
in the video games. Like
HP, we call it.
reference for you guys. That's what it feels like to a hangry person.
That's actually, is that not like the most nerdy thing she's ever said in the history of this show?
She's right.
tried to
too.
relate to
it's,
you guys.
It's like restorative. You have just like a hearty bowl of soup on a cold winter's night, and you're just like, this.
But
just,
it's
Can I-
more than that. It's when
It's-
it's when you're hangry.
yeah.
I gotta
that
call a
too.
time out here.
Come out.
Tyler, are you also a self-admitted hangry person?
So I think I've said this on the show before, but I'll get hangry if I'm like, if I miss a meal and then like I go, I forgot to eat, and then like I'll recognize that I'm hungry
Yeah,
and still be
you
like,
have said
I've
this on the
got,
show
I've got some
before.
stuff to do right now. I'll
Right.
eat later, and then in the middle of that task, I'll be getting frustrated.
This is why I really enjoyed the video game The Sims, because we are all just at the end of the day those little
Sims.
Sims with the little green
do you guys
diamond
play
above
The
us.
Sims?
I played the heck out of The Sims back in the day.
Okay.
No.
Love The Sims.
I'm of the personal opinion. This is no offense to him.
Go ahead.
That you can't trust some people who play The Sims.
Really, that's your
Yeah,
opinion?
yeah. Like,
See, like for me, it's like bring her back, but I get to play the role of bringing my Sims back.
never trust a girl who plays The Sims. Is a better way to put this. They do some wild stuff in The Sims. Like, you get a glimpse into the darkest parts of someone's soul.
Oh, sounds like you have a real personal story here with this.
Yes.
Okay.
Weird.
And you just go like, wow, I didn't know the human brain was capable of like inventing that level
Like
of
putting them in a room with no doors and windows and then setting them on fire, that kind of stuff.
further.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, moving on.
So
Number 2. I don't understand how you guys don't get hangry. Like I don't understand as a hangry person because Mikey doesn't get hangry. He's
Yeah.
just like perfect and sweet all the time. And I'm like, I don't really understand how that works. I don't understand it. Like when I guess it's your blood sugar. I've like looked up the science of this too. I had a sign that I was gifted, said hangry on it for my kitchen in college. My
you
roommate-
really are.
I know. It's bad.
It's a lifestyle.
But it says like your blood sugar dropping, and I don't understand how that doesn't equate to angriness. Like I don't understand how you can deal with that and not just be like pissed off at the world.
So I just looked it up. There's some research that states that being hangry is a real phenomenon with scientific basis. It's a combination of physiological and psychological responses to low blood sugar and the release of stress hormones.
Yeah.
And also the low blood sugar can affect brain function.
And decision making.
Which makes it harder to think clearly
Yes.
or manage your emotions.
That
So
is-
if your brain is running off of low blood sugar, then you'll have trouble getting your words out like I am right now.
Here we are, really bringing out hard truths, and it's not just a hashtag.
Yeah.
It's an actual physiological suffering.
Number one.
Number one.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
It's an apology. I'm sorry for who I am in that state. Tyler just touched on it. I truly, like, it's not like Jekyll and Hyde, but like kind of a little bit. It is amazing the things I say and the impulsivity I have when I'm hangry compared to when I'm like well fed.
You never need to play poker hangry.
No.
You need to eat before every
Always
session.
need to eat. It's like you have brain fog and you just need to eat, and anything that you say to people, it's just collateral. The worst things I've said in life have been when I've been hangry.
I do wonder if we're going to be testifying in a trial that EG is being accused of some horrible thing. And we're like, well, she has a history
Anything
of.
I say to anyone is collateral.
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of have to roll with the punches. And like, I'm not getting like the most family issues I've caused have been in a state of hunger. Because like I said, I mean, it's just, anything is fair game in that state. But once I'm like refueled, it's like, oh, sorry.
Well, I'm glad that we've been warned. That's really what this was. It was a warning. And I hope you know that a sim is a little digital being that has no feelings, thoughts, emotions.
Yeah, no,
or
I remember the sentence.
actual flesh.
I kind of like, they're kind of weird.
All right. Well, I enjoyed it. Anyway,
sorry.
that is going to be your Hangry Meltdown Countdown, and I appreciate you sharing that. What's your level of hanger right now?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. You guys saw a glimpse of it that one time with this sandwich incident.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. When they didn't toast it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I asked for one thing.
and they still asked for a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. All right. I'm scared. This is me in a non-controlled
Why
environment
does
being
this
scared.
end with y'all being scared of me so often?
We're more scared of you than horror movies. Think about that. And you're more scared of horror movies than us.
I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
I don't know how this happens.
you're right.
It's the truth.
You're right. I have a much greater fear of EG snapping and just finally just saying I've
Wow.
had it.
What does it say about me?
I've had it with you, Tyler. That's it, and just taking me out right there. Then running into Jason.
See, self-awareness. We have it both. We both have it.
Well, I
See, now we're vigilant.
okay.
I'm kind of scared of you at a poker table because you're kind of nice at the poker table. Like you're actually nice at the poker table, but you're a killer. You're a ruthless killer looking to rip someone's spleen out of their body
smile on my face.
with a smile on your face. Okay,
Hunter
let's leave it at
says,
that.
God forbid she sees the dude that took her hair dryer and she hasn't had lunch that day.
Oh Lord, I think honestly I was hangry when that happened, and that was really sped up the process.
Well, who would have thought it would be a fortune cookie that would solve the crime,
Amen.
which is a food item.
Yeah.
If you think
Can we
about
do
it.
that segment soon?
How many fortune cookies
Tyler.
do we have right now?
Can we please get back on this?
Can you beg, like,
Please.
Tyler, can we get some more fortune cookies soon?
I mean, y'all can get them.
Oh my gosh.
I prefer Fat
pre-
Tyler. I prefer Fat Tyler.
Well, you
I'm
know,
sorry.
I'm
gonna
trying
say
to
it.
get away from that.
A
I'm
big,
trying
bold,
to eat
beautiful
right.
journal.
I've been on my
Journey.
salmon and broccoli diet that I've been telling you about.
I'm
It's
proud of you.
Steamed rice and broccoli. That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm
From the Chinese place.
no.
Why?
They had a bunch of other stuff on
Steamed
there.
rice. Just
And
steamed
plus,
rice.
they've got crab rangoons there, so I
Okay,
can't
yeah.
control myself.
Oh, there it There it is.
It's a self-control issue too.
I'm beginning to believe we all have psychological issues.
If we stay here long enough, we can.
Hey,
diagnose each other.
are we just now figuring that out?
You're hangry, you fat shame yourself, and I burn Sims alive. I don't know what else we need other than to know that
I
we
look
have
in the mirror and I go, "Why did you eat another rangoon? Why did you do that?"
Yeah. Okay.
I've got to go.
I do too. I do too. I actually may not be here tomorrow. It's going to be the first ever meltdown without me. So that's going to do it. We appreciate it. MyBookie.ag, we appreciate them as well. Use promo code next round there at MyBookie.ag for that first time deposit bonus. And, we're all learning hard truths about ourselves. Sometimes the most painful thing you can do is look in the mirror. And that's what we've done here on this episode. We've looked within ourselves. And we hope to be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. If you want to be a part of the pain with us, The journey is real. The meltdown is real. We'll see you back again soon on Meltdown Live, compadres.